Hey everyone, my name's Catherine and welcome to my channel, and this is my first video back at home post my big EF Ultimate Break trip, which I had announced earlier right before I left because it was quite a spontaneous trip that I had booked. I've been wanting to go to these destinations for a while, but I had some time open up and I decided to go. So I definitely filmed along my trip, and I think by this point they should be all posted. But I also, while traveling, was definitely figuring out what I wish I'd brought and what I wish I hadn't brought, and especially because it was my first big trip post the pandemic starting. And so I definitely took notes along the way and wanted to share them with you guys because I really know, because I was struggling with this a lot before my trip. But packing for a trip like this, especially if you haven't done it in a long time or you've never done it, can be extremely overwhelming and nerve-wracking. And it definitely was something I was dealing with. And so I wanted to let you guys know what I have figured out as I was traveling so I can be better prepared next time. Things that I wish I didn't bring. We tend to over worry about things, especially things that we don't typically have to worry about back home as much. And that for me was bugs. I was warned about the bugs in Costa Rica and Ecuador, so I bought tons of bug spray, bug wipes, and even like a thing to douse clothes with to then keep the bugs off. And I feel like for me, I could have just done with one bottle of bug spray. I didn't use the wipes, I didn't touch the second bottle, and I brought that with me on the trip. And then the thing to douse my clothing with, I was reading the instructions. Each giant bottle was good for like 2 outfits. So I was bringing way more outfits. I would have needed, it was like half a gallon of bug spray. You literally submerge your clothing, and I was like really stressed for packing. I did not have the time to do that, and I just decided not to. So I didn't even use that, and I felt fine. Of course, I did get bitten a little bit on my trips, but I feel like that's inevitable. I wish I'd only brought the one thing of bug spray. Also, I kind of wish I had a bigger backpack, not my Camelback hiking backpack for every day, but the actual carry-on airplane backpack. I've talked about my Nordace, I've even made a video about it, and I do love it, but I feel like it wasn't big enough. I know I bring a lot of stuff, and maybe I just need to pack less. But at the same time, I feel like it got full very fast, and I saw my roommate had a really big backpack, and I've now thinking of looking into it. Her backpack was called the Matine, if I'm saying that right. And yeah, it looked pretty massive. I thought it was honestly like a suitcase at first because of the way it opened up, like a soft-sided suitcase carry-on, but it was actually a backpack. I kind of maybe for my next trip might consider getting a bigger backpack, and then if I do, maybe I can have a smaller suitcase. We'll see, but I do wish I had a bigger backpack. Also, I wish I brought less shoes. I didn't bring that many shoes, but I brought like a pair of flip-flops, hiking shoes, sneaker shoes, closed-toed water shoes, and then 2 pairs of sandals. And I think I could have done with only 1 pair of sandals. And going into that, a lot of people on my trip wore Tevas, which are basically strapped shoes, not flip-flops, so your foot can't just fly out, that can go in the water. Because for me, I only wore those closed-toed water shoes for whitewater rafting, and that's it, because they don't look very attractive and kind of funny looking, and I could have just worn Tevas on that excursion, and a lot of people did, because with those you can hike like not crazy, I think, types of hikes, but on EF you typically do like moderate to light hikes. So you can do one of those hikes and then go into the water with those shoes still on and then come out and they'll dry. Because for me, what I'd have to do is I'd wear my New Balances or my hiking shoes. For example, we did a hike down to a waterfall, so I wore those, and then down there I put on my flip-flops, and then I get the flip-flops wet and my feet are all wet, and then I have to try to put on socks and sneakers on like semi-dry feet, and it was a bit of a headache. I just wish I had Tevas or some kind of water sandals that would be able to go into the water, and have brought that as my only pair of sandals and instead of my water shoes as well. Another thing is I saw that it was supposed to rain a lot in both countries, and so I ended up buying a poncho, which I never wore. But at the same time, it gave me a peace of mind that I had a poncho because it was lightweight and airy, because it's hard to pack for trips where it's hot and humid but also rainy. but it also didn't rain as much as I thought it would, thankfully. But how was I supposed to know that, I guess, ahead of time? But I never ended up wearing it, and I would just always opt for my lightweight Lululemon rain jackets. So I'm thinking now it just took up extra space because it was a pretty like chunky kind of a case for a poncho. So although I kind of had peace of mind that I had it and I thought about wearing it a few times, I never actually did. So going forward, I kind of just wish I didn't bring it. You might want to wear it because some people did wear their ponchos. It is also a good idea. So I guess it depends on the person. And I wish I had brought more sunscreen. I packed more sunscreen, but then when I looked at my suitcase at the end, when I was trying to pack to leave and I weighed it, it was over 50 pounds and it was barely closing. So I decided to take out one of my big sprays of sunscreen. And then I ended up running out not even at the end of Costa Rica, like near the end. So I still needed sunscreen because I had half my trip left and I had to buy more sunscreen in Costa Rica, which is always an option. You know, you can always just bring one and buy later. That's definitely a good option. But I feel like the sunscreen was really expensive that I got. It was at a local grocery store. It wasn't even tourist prices. So I still don't know about that. If I'd known ahead of time, I would have brought less bug spray and more sunscreen. So that is the list, what I wish I didn't bring. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope to see you in a future video of mine. And let me know if you're thinking of going on any EF trips. And if you are, I actually have a discount code for you guys. I have a link down below along with a promo code for $100 off an EF trip. So feel free to use that because we love a good discount. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Have a great day or night whenever you're seeing this.